I want to talk more about the message coming out of the White House and how the administration is handling all of these headlines. Let's bring in Wall Street Journal White House reporter Peter Nicholas. Peter, thank you so much for joining us. We always love having you on the show. Kevin teed it up for me perfectly. I just read a Wall Street Journal piece, was posted about 6 hours ago, about the Made in America campaign, focusing on rewriting the tax code, really getting this message out there. This isn't the first time that we've seen the White House pick a message and then go with it.
Right. This has been a common pattern. So the White House is trying to stay more focused on message. They've had something called Infrastructure Week, Energy Week. This week is Made in America Week. And they're trying to do what White Houses do, which is push their agenda, stay on message, and have a public relations communications plan. Problem has been the president has complicated these efforts by tweeting about other subjects, and we saw it again this morning. So this week is Made in America Week, where they're going to highlight local products made in America. But the president has been tweeting about the Russia investigation. He's been tweeting about the news media. He's been tweeting about protests and supporters that he's seen at the golf tournament at his golf club. So it's been a challenge, and there's been some frustration on the part of White House officials that these theme weeks aren't really working as desired. I
think in that Infrastructure Week there was quite a few tweets about what was making headlines, which always is in different capacities, was the ban, the travel ban. I want to ask you how frustrating it is for the White House Communications Department, because I think this week they were really hoping for some progress on health care.
Yes, so health care was supposed to be the topic. I mean, this is central to the president's agenda. I mean, he's promised to repeal and replace Obamacare. But the Russia investigation just intruded, as it has for months, and with new developments, new disclosures, this one involving Don Jr., his eldest son, and meetings he had with a Russian lawyer. So it's been very difficult for the president to sort of stay on message, and he has at times taken the bait. He has diverted himself and diverted his White House by focusing on the Russia investigation at the expense of these major priorities, and this comes at a potentially high price, because if we go into the 28 midterms with no health care bill passed, no tax reform bill passed, and the president's budget priority is not in place, people may start to wonder, well, what are we getting from Republican control of Congress and Republican control of the White House? Where is the agenda really taking shape? Where is it really being enacted? So that's something the president's going to have to deal with.
Where is the agenda going? And then also, I want to ask you from your observations, is there a clear and concise communication department at the White House? And what has that been like from administrations you've covered in the past?
It is a little bit more fragmented than other administrations. The Obama administration, the communications team was a little bit more unified. It was a little bit, the hierarchy was easier to understand. This one is a little different in the sense that there are senior White House officials who have their own press people, who have their own communications teams in place. And that's sort of separate from the team that involves Sean Spicer, the press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the deputy press secretary. We have communications director was resigned several weeks ago. So it's a much more fragmented, factionalized communications operation. And it makes you wonder if all the principal players really know what others are doing, because the communications team is sort of divided among, Steve Bannon has his own press spokesman for all intents and purposes. Jared Kushner has somebody
separate. Now we have their legal team, obviously.
Different legal team.
But you also have a president who speaks to the American people on Twitter, which we have, yes, we have had Twitter, so we've had a president in the past who's used Twitter, not in the capacity that we've seen now, right. But that's what Americans wanted. They wanted this type of communication. So yes, we saw a different administration years ago, but people voted for this. They wanted this.
I think that's right, Liz, but one thing to keep in mind is that polling shows that voters want him to tweet less. So it's sort of a double-edged sword. I mean, that's a nice kind of way to, an unfiltered way, an authentic and spontaneous way he can communicate with the American people. But there's a backlash that's starting to set in. People are wondering if he should be spending this much time on Twitter.
That's interesting. Yeah. Peter, thank you so much. It's interesting.